How to shop secondhand clothing online? That's a question I will be answering today, and more specifically about goth clothing. Hello my spooky bats, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Orphea and I'm a goth girl from Belgium. In today's video, I will be talking to you about online thrift shopping or secondhand shopping online. And I do this specifically for a lot of my clothing pieces. First of all, because I am against fast fashion and I want to support a better environment, and that's one of the reasons that I shop secondhand. Second is because a lot of the things that I really love are discontinued, no longer available from brands that are unfortunately long gone or no longer making the things that I want to purchase from them. So those are my two main reasons that I personally shop secondhand online. First of all, for the sustainability, and second of all, to get unique pieces that I otherwise would not be able to get. So let's get into the tips and tricks on how I shop online, and more specifically, where I shop online as well. Now, the website that I personally use most is called Vinted. I think it's called Poshmark in the United States. However, don't quote me on this if I'm wrong. It's just a secondhand platform where people can buy and sell the items that they have in their closet. Here in Belgium, we also have two other local platforms that we can use. They are called Tweedehands and Marktplaats, but those are exclusive to Belgium and the Netherlands. I'm not sure how Vinted works exactly in terms of countries that you have availabilities of or not. It depends on the shipping as well. So I don't know exactly how it works with Vinted, how many countries can have it, if you can buy from each other even if you're at the other side of the world. I don't know. I just like using Vinted. Most of the things that I see are from Belgium, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, Netherlands, so it's countries around my country mainly. Another website that I have used less and less over the years is called eBay. And the main reason I use eBay less and less is because on eBay you tend to find a lot of resellers of products and also businesses that sell on eBay as a job and that make the prices ridiculously high sometimes. eBay used to be my go-to website if you would have asked me 5 years ago for buying things secondhand. However, nowadays I use eBay only if I really can't find it anywhere else, and most of the time I really just don't use eBay anymore. So eBay is a good alternative if you don't have any other secondhand websites, but I prefer using Vinted because you buy from a person and not from a business. If you have seen one of my previous videos in which I talk about shopping online, you will have seen that I often use a list of items and that I try and follow that as close as possible. I do this as well with secondhand shopping. I will always have an idea of what I am looking for. However, with secondhand shopping, you need to have a little bit of freedom in that as well. Let's say I am looking for a dress. I'm looking for a specific style of dress that I want to wear for a specific occasion. Then I will list the types of dresses that I would like to have and also the colors that I like. So if, for example, I cannot find the dress in black, but I encounter somewhere on the website the same dress that I want or a similar style of dress that I want in another color, then that might also be an option for me. However, if you are not 100% sure what you are looking for, it might also be a good idea to just start searching and liking items. On Vinted, you can type in search words. So what I often do is I look for specific brands. I will type in New Rock. I will type in Demonia. I will be looking at Pleaser. If I'm looking for shoes, I will be looking at Dr. Martens. If I'm looking for clothes, I might type in Killstar, Lip Service, Punk Rave, etc. The good thing about Vinted is that you can apply filters immediately to your search. You can select your shoe size, you can select your clothing size, etc. And the results that you will get will fall into those categories. However, I have noticed over the time of using Vinted that a lot of people do not tag their items correctly. So if you have the time to go through everything in a certain category, for example Killstar, and you sort it to most recent, then you will find a lot of treasures that sometimes people don't find, because people often tag their items differently. For example, if I post a maxi dress, I could list it under a black dress, I could list it under a summer dress, I could list it under a number of items. However, if you do this correctly, it's still kind of difficult to often find the things you are exactly looking for. So searching for broad keywords is the thing that I like to do. What I often also do is to type in specific types of styles of dresses. For example, I was looking into a multi-way dress. I had no clue where I should search for it on Vinted if I wasn't able to use the search function. So what I did is type in multi-way dress, and immediately a few of those dresses popped up on my search, and then I was able to like them if I liked them, and if I didn't, then I would just leave it there. The next thing that I would highly recommend to do is, as I said, liking items. It will all be saved into a sort of wish list, liked list, and then you keep track of those items. What I like to do if I look for a particular item of clothing, I will first go through Vinted, start liking everything that I like, and then from my likes list, I will start eliminating the things that I like least from the things that I've liked, and the ones that I've liked most, or the things that I still like most, I will look at them a lot closer. So I will look at the measurements, I will ask the seller questions, I will try and see if I don't already have something similar if I really want it. Another tip that goes with that is to try and talk to the seller if there's anything you are uncertain of. Sometimes for Killstar, I know how something fits, I know what size I need, and I can just buy it. However, for some other brands, sizes might be small, might be big, you never know. So what I would often do is ask for measurements. And this is something that I would highly recommend you do as well if you're not certain of the size you need in an item, etc. I will never purchase something on Vinted if I'm not sure I'm gonna fit into it, or it has to be really inexpensive. If you like an item of someone, what I would also recommend is to look at their profile and more specifically their closet. Because someone who has a similar style to you might have lots more options of things that you like. And the thing on Vinted is also that you can buy in bundles and get discounts, or at least often you can. Not every single seller offers this, it's up to them to disclose if they want it or not. If you can buy in bundle, you will get, I think it's a 10 to 20% discount on the things you are buying, and they will also be shipped together. So it helps with the shipping costs. Even if the person doesn't offer bundles as is, you can even buy multiple items and just save on shipping costs. You can also see the feedback of someone on their profile. If they don't have any and they haven't been active for very long, it's often just someone new on the website, and I would not be too suspicious. However, if you see that it's someone who has been on the website for a longer period and has zero feedback, then I would kind of find that suspicious. Talking about pricing of items. Most of the time I know what I want to spend on a piece of clothing. However, if I am not sure, so if I've liked a bunch of things and there is something, let's say I want to keep it easy, Killstar. What I would do is I would type in the same piece of clothing into Google and see what its original price was and if it was on sale recently, etc. So I want to know what the value is of the thing I am buying, and if the asking price that someone is asking for it, either brand new with tags, new without tags, in very good condition or good condition, is actually a normal price for what they're asking, because some people tend to sell especially branded clothing for a lot more than it's actually worth. So I try to avoid buying things overpriced, so I set myself a budget for what I want, and I will also always be looking up the item and its original resale price. On Vinted, there is also the option to make an offer on a piece of clothing. I will only do this if I find the price to be too high for what they are selling, or if the item has been on the website for over a month. At that time, I will make an offer. However, you cannot apply a discount higher than 40% as your bid. So if someone has something for sale for 10 euros and you want to make an offer of 5 euros, you're not able to. You need to at least offer them 6 euros if I'm not mistaken. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. Some people will try and have the highest price for an item. Often it is well worth it as well, but sometimes they really don't. And you can, of course, make an offer. Now, a seller has the right to refuse an offer as well, but you can always try. And I would highly recommend doing this if it's an item that has been on the website for a longer period of time. Buying secondhand clothes is something that I've always enjoyed a lot. However, due to Corona, due to pandemic, it's not always easy to go thrifting. A lot of shops, even in my area, are still not opened to their full capacity, and I just prefer shopping online because it's easier as well. Now, the thing that you have to keep in mind with Vinted, for example, is that if you see an item marked at a certain price, you will see different shipping options, and you always need to pay a Vinted tax or a amount to Vinted, the platform that's selling, to be able to purchase an item. So for example, a dress that has a price of 10 euros, you will pay about 1 euro fee to the platform and then of course the shipping costs. So for me, it's about 15 euros including shipping for a certain dress. So of course, keep that in mind as well when you are looking at items. Now, the main thing that I want you to keep in mind is that you don't need to impulse buy. I never impulse buy anymore because I save everything to my wish list. I have a certain budget every single month that I can spend on clothing, or at least on secondhand clothing. I rarely buy things new anymore, and that I will spend by the end of the month more or less if I have it extra in my budget. And that is how I buy clothing online. I also sell a lot of clothing online, and in the description box of this video I will be leaving you the link to my Vinted account, so that if you're in my region, if you're in my area and you're interested in any of the things that I sell, you can actually purchase them. Now, I have done a recent closet declutter. I know I haven't recorded it for you because now the house is still in a state of construction, as in we're still finishing the house I live in, so I didn't feel it was a very good moment to film a closet declutter. However, if I do so again in the future, of course, I will be making videos about it. If you enjoyed this video and if it gave you some inspiration to start shopping secondhand online, then feel free to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you have other tips and tricks that you would like to share with me, feel free to let them know in a comment down below as well. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy my future videos, so feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I make weekly videos and I would love to have you here for every single one of them. Before I end this video, I want to of course thank my patrons, and more specifically my high tier patrons, Anders, Jerry and Jen. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, it means the world to me. And of course I want to thank each and every one of you for watching my videos, and I will see you next week with a new one. Bye!